So the week of February 20th through the 26th was kind of a shitty week for me, training wise and whatnot. Uh, I hit 6 out of my 8 goals for the week. I'll start with the good stuff. I went and saw that Cocaine Bear movie. That was pretty decent if you listen to the review that I made of it. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad, but it was just something to do. So that was on my list of things to do this week. Tonight, Sunday, down at Bolivar, actually went and did this paint party thing, painted a rabbit. That was my something to do that was fun this week activity. Some weeks I like to try to incorporate something fun besides just training and racing, and just another way to be growing personally, besides just physical, the mental aspect of it a little bit. It was pretty fun. I'm fairly happy with how my rabbit turned out. I wish I would have picked a different color. I think I made it white and then gray background. I think I would liked it better if I did a gray rabbit or a brown rabbit. After seeing some of the other people's, I think that would have been a better choice. But I thought white with being Easter might be a little bit more Eastery. But hey, it is what it is. I started planning this week for some of my big races like Ironstone, Rabid Raccoon, and like Eastern States. That was on my list. Trying to figure out what I want to do and what direction I want to go through like aid stations, drop bags, and whatnot. It's kind of putting a little stress on me because I'm not sure which direction I want to go with those. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it was just, I started the plan and that was a goal for the week, but it really didn't get too much traction. Should have wrote some more stuff down, as I will in the coming weeks, but it's just so hard to nail down because I don't know who's going to help or be available at the time. I did get my hill repeats in this week. That was a big goal. I got my 2,000 feet of gain in hill repeats. Went out to the game lands, ran up the big hill. So it was like 1.85 miles out to where I actually started the hill repeats. But in that, yeah. Sorry, I just ate, so now I'm like burping up some good deer burgers. Anyway, where I started at, I parked below the shooting range and I ran 1.85 miles-ish out to where I wanted to start the hill repeats. It's all uphill going out with like 600 feet to get to where I started. So I was already 600 feet before I started the hill repeats. And then I did 2,000 on top of that. We'll say it was like 0.3 tenths of a mile up the whole time, and then 0.3 tenths of a mile back down. And it was like 200 feet each direction. So that was kind of nice. So I only had to do 10 hill repeats, but it is kind of sucky because it is kind of hard, even though it's more of a gravel access road, like in the game lands than anything. It just sucks doing that much gain in that short of time, and over again, because you keep flipping your muscles back and forth from incline to decline, incline to decline. And then it's gradual and then it gets steep, and then it gets gradual and then steep again in that 3/10. So works a bunch of different muscles. So then I headed out after I got my 2,000 feet, which gave me 2,600 for the day. It was really actually nice that day. That was that like 70-degree weather day that we had this week, which was unimaginable for the end of February. Actually, when I was running up, I was getting so hot. Actually, I had to take my shirt off, and I took my naked belt with 2 bottles, took it off, and just sat it down where I was going to do the hill repeats at. And then once I was done, I just picked them back up and put the shirt actually around my waist because it was just so freaking hot doing hill repeats with a shirt on. And I remember my hat, I lowered my head after I was done, and like around the brim, it was just dripping. I took a video of it. It was just like a leaky faucet just dripping down the brim of it. So that was kind of different for the end of February. Seeing that, nice to be able to run with your shirt off for a while. And then when I got out to the bottom of the hill, it was like, I think I was like 9 miles in, whatever, 2,600 feet when I got to the bottom. And then I was like, oh, I still got some daylight left, 20, 30 minutes of daylight. I might as well just do 3,000 feet again. I went behind the Game Commission buildings and did my other little hill repeat section. I had over 3,000 feet on my watch when I quit. Then I got back to the vehicle. I think it was actually 1165 on my watch for mileage, or 11 or 10.8, whatever it was. It was between 10 and a half and 11 with 3,000 feet of gain. So that was pretty awesome to get those stats. But then when I got home, uploaded it, damn Garmin and Strava gave me 2,999. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I was going for that 3,000. It was just one of those mental things that just kind of pisses you off. Because on my watch, it did say over 3,000 when I quit. I guess they just readjusted afterwards. Whatever, but I walk up and down the stairs a bunch every day, so I at least got 3,000 gain no matter what in. So that was another goal I knocked out. I got 30.1 miles in this week. I just squeaked by with my mileage. My legs have just been tired all week. I don't know what's wrong. I think I just burned them up last week, and I just been trying to recover all week. Took like Friday off from running, and like yesterday I only did a couple, and today I only did that 5 just to get that 30 threshold that was my goal for the week. My legs just didn't want to go far. My plan was yesterday going short and then doing like 20 miles today, but then when I woke up I was like, maybe I'll just do 10 or 13 instead. And then once I started running I was like, yeah, you're just going to do 5 and you're going to be done. We'll just hope we can do better this week. So hopefully my legs recover and get back at it. I think those were my bigger goals. So then I did some tire sledging. That was one of the things. I actually wanted to hit the tire a little bit with a sledge. That was the last goal that I accomplished this week. That's always fun, just take out some aggravation or just hitting a tire, getting a little bit of a workout. It's always fun. Picked up some sticks in the yard this week for a little bit of like cross training and stuff. Did that a couple times just to get a little early jump on it. The 2 goals that I missed was biking, which is shocking. Again, it was one of those leg things where I jumped on a couple times and only got 5 miles this week because my body's just like, you're done. So I got 67.13 short of my goal. I only lifted once this week. So too short of my goal. My body just wasn't having it. It's like breaking down. So I ate some deer meat tonight. I think I'm just not, over the last couple weeks to recover, I didn't eat enough good, like, hearty protein. So I was kind of lacking for recovery. So I'm hoping the deer meat boosts me back up for some energy, because it usually makes me spry pretty good after eating it for a couple days. Other than that, I guess it was just a shitty week overall. I just felt drained. School was kind of slow. Doing a lot of book work, it killed me mentally. Be doing some more hands-on this week. And then with work, just not having too much time. Seems like as soon as I get done, I come home from school or work now, get done biking and running, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it's like, all right, you got to eat, shower, and then do whatever little task that you might have, and then it's bedtime to get enough sleep. Need a couple extra days somehow, or get some extra hours, or just take a couple of days off, I guess. So we'll see. Been spending too much money, I know that, on food and like some race stuff. I didn't see what the other thing I missed this week was well, I didn't miss it. I said I was going to look at some races, see what was in the area, to see if I could find one I liked. there really wasn't anything in the area that I particularly wanted to do. There was spring thaw, and then there was like a 1 miler, the big 1 mile. I forget where it was at, but it was a 2-hour drive just for a 1 mile race. I was like, and it was 4 in the afternoon, so I was like, well, that just kills your whole day because you'd have to leave at like 1:30 to get there on time, and then you ain't getting home to 6:30. So it's like, plus the 2 hours is just a little far for just a 1 miler. And then spring thaw, just running around that area in loops just never appeals to me, because there's just so many races down there. So I was just like, I'm not going to waste money. I could just, run it home. But I did sleep in Saturday and Sunday trying to recover. Really hasn't helped. Still feel shitty today being Sunday as I did like say Tuesday, Wednesday, which I think it stems back from last weekend when I did 20 miles on Ghost Town, and then the next day I did 10 on 1,000 steps. That it's just rail trail now. When I do like long distances on rail trail, it just completely annihilates me for like 2 weeks. I know after the Mahoning Shadow Shuffle half, I was done for like 2 weeks leg wise. It's just that constant, muscle group that you're using over and over for the entire period just kills me, because any other time I don't train on it. Like Ghost Town to run 20. I'm not going to do that too often. I might have to just to build up my legs to get used to that type of thing for Ironstone. But it just takes the life out of me training on it. I know other people love it. I don't, because I like the I forget, I can't think of the word right now, but the variety of hills and ups, downs, twists. Whereas like a Ghost Town rail trail is steady the whole time because it's PA. So most of the time your races are a variety. So that's why I train mostly on that instead of rail trail. But I think that doing that Saturday, then 1,000 steps, I just really didn't recover on the weekend enough. And then coming through the week, just being like mentally burnt out and just going down that slippery slope the whole week just killed my training and being unmotivated. But you're going to have those weeks. The only thing that worries me is with Rabbit Raccoon in a couple weeks, am I going to be ready now in time? Now that I feel like the way my legs feel, I'm way behind the 8 ball for that. So it's going to be sheer determination now to be able to do that in a couple weeks if the weather's good. I'm still up in the air about that. If the weather's shitty, I'm not going. It's not worth the risk or the suffering this early in the season of, derailing my training for the things that are actually more important to me this year. Getting back to that, it's just like it's mentally weighing on me how I'm going to attack Rabbit Raccoon and some of these other bigger races this year. I can feel it starting to weigh on me. Like planning wise, nutrition, training, how to get different things done in between races, using one race to bank off momentum, like for the next one, next weekend, and so forth. And then who's going to help me, who's willing to be helping, what I'm going to have to do to like get these people to help me. Because some of these races, I'm going to need some help if I actually want to do good at them. If I just wanted to go and show up and finish, won't. But actually, if I'm going to go and train hard, I'd like to put forth the effort. So I'm going to need some people to help me at some point, like crewing or just, with drop bags and pacing, so I could actually finish these races in a good time, like Rabbit Raccoon. Be nice to go sub 24 for the 100 miler, but if I don't have like crew or the weather's shitty, it's just not going to be possible, because I'm not going to hurt myself and put myself in that position where it's going to set my rest of the year back, because Rabbit Raccoon's just not on the list of importance. It was just one of those things as a test to see where I'm at for the remainder of the year. If I need to up training, pull back a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Would like to, for this week, end of February going into March, I need to bike a little bit more this week, get my like 100 miles back in, at least run 40, get a couple like 3,000 to 4,000 feet of gain. It might be a little rough because it's supposed to rain like 4 days this week. And the temps are supposed to drop all but like 1 day, so it's probably going to be 30, 40 degrees with rain. So it's going to be hard to get outside because I don't want to go out there, get sick, get cold, and again, push my training back, or get hurt, just slipping on something. So it could be a rough week for training. I hope not. Probably not going to list too much stuff this week to do, like personally, financially, or just in general, like for goals, because I do need a couple weeks where I just pull back a little bit, not worry about so much stuff. I do want to race this week somewhere. It's been a couple weeks, and I know I need to get into that speed zones again, and mentality. If I don't start racing, then I'm just going to start getting behind with my training. Unless I do a couple speed sessions this week outside. Maybe if it's raining, I'll just blast like a 3 or 4 mile race speed type tempo run. But we'll see. But I definitely need to race so I can get back into the mode of racing and mentality of it, because it really does help. Try to get back on track a little bit with nutrition. Ate a lot of cookies this week. I also know that another reason why I'm probably mentally drained is because I'm trying to not drink coffee anymore. Not just like for Lent, but just in general. I think coffee's like too much of an addiction type drink, with the caffeine in it. So I'm trying to like wean myself off of it. I've only drank it maybe once or twice last week. I had some at work on Friday, and then I think one other day, like at school Tuesday in the morning, I had to, because I was just so tired just to stay awake doing the book work. I had to drink some. But other than that, I'm trying to not drink it anymore. Only when I absolutely need it. Because again, I don't want to be dependent on stimulants and that caffeine. I know a lot of people like coffee, but it's just really not the greatest for you. So there's that. But other than that, I guess that's my weekly roundup. We'll see what happens this week. I'll post my goals in a little bit after I get some pictures of them, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully my body rebounds this week so I can start pushing it a little bit more and focus more on my races in the future.